You like Trump? Good girl. You like Biden? Alright, good evening. I just got a little playing thing to do here. We're going to see what this thing will do. We're going to attempt to make this water cooled and see what it'll do. This ain't much of an amp. The guy that built it didn't do any good whatsoever, but I reckon he did the best he could, much to shake. But anyways, we got a Cobra 19. I don't want to backfeed into this thing and burn up a good radio, so it's the Cobra 19. Piece of coax coming out of it, going into the amp here, coming out here, going into the bird watt meter with a 500 watt slug in it. It's in peak. This is running the amplifier, and with this little radio here, it's got a wire trapped up in it. With this little radio here, it ain't doing a lot. It's hooked up to a dummy load over here, a dry one. A dry dummy load. I got everything separated from my normal system other than the power supply on the table. Running this radio here. This power supply is running out. So everything's isolated from it besides the power going in the wall. I'm gonna see what this thing will put out right here like this. This might be my only shot of this, because something might happen, I don't know. I'm gonna just try it. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Oh, it's putting out about 160, 170 watts with this power supply, and I'm pretty sure this power supply is dropping. It ain't no good one. It is a old junk one too. Oh, it ain't doing too bad. It's dropping down to 14.8. Oh, so it's just an amp, ain't no good. It's got to use transistors and everything's pretty much used. It's just a junk amplifier, just something to play around with. What I'm gonna attempt to do is drop it over in a bucket of water. We're gonna see if it keeps transmitting or not. Just for the hell of it. Like I said, AC ain't hooked up to it. It's just DC. And we're going to drop it over in this thing of water and see what it does. Right now at this point in time, oh, it's doing about 180. Definitely tell us over in the water. Hello. And it's still doing 180. Oh, this is the bird. See if you can see that without being glare all over it. This is in peak. See if you can see that. I could have done this in mineral water and I knew it would work then, because mineral oil is non-conductive. But this is over in a bucket of water. And it's pulling a little bit of amperage through it. But, oh, as far as affecting the wattage, nope. And it's over in the water. The radio's wanting to pick up some stuff. You can see some bubbles coming off it where the DC is pulling current. Let's see how much current it's actually pulling. Ain't as bad as I thought. 1.30 amps. About 18 keyed audio on it. But you can see a little bubble every now and again from the DC. If I put distilled water in it, it probably wouldn't do anything, because it don't have any contaminants in it. This is just straight off the tap. It's actually straight out of the water heater down here. It's hot water at that. But this is the watt meter. 500 watt slug, as you can see. Hopefully those lights are bright. Oh. Alright, I'm going to turn it off. Turn the amplifier off. Oh. 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 That's just the carbon 19. Carbon 19's off. Hello. Don't even hardly move it. Y'all look like I'm bullshitting, but carbon 19, 50 watt slug. Oh. Peak is putting out about 11, 12 watts. Let me go outside. Okay, we back. The sheriff come up out there, the one that, where the guy sort of threw a rock on to hit the side of his truck, which I don't think I did. But maybe if I did, but I didn't do the scratches that he's saying I did. That's the whole point of it. He's pointing at scratches. Like I said, he pulled over on the side of the road, and I asked him when I went back up, I said, did you, before you came down in the driveway, did you pull over and look at the car? He's like, no. I'm like, well, how did you get it straight out of your truck and point directly at a scratch? Didn't even have time to look it over. He just automatically went to a scratch and pointed at it. This guy keeps a clean truck. Believe me, it's clean. And if it's a scratch, a nick, or a ding in it, believe me, he knows. He knows. Well, getting back to this amp, it's sitting over in a bucket of water. It's been sitting there. I went upstairs and talked to them and did come back down here. But before I come down here, I made me a chicken and cheese quesadilla. And just got done eating one of those. Fixed Amy one. And so I'm going to plug this back up. Alright, so the power supply is on. Alright, we're pulling 1.20 amps out of there. And this amp ain't even on. The amp's on right there. This is hooked up to a separate power supply. It's a 50 watt slug. Turn that amp off. But 50 watt slug. Oh. It's about 10 watts peak on that. Oh. So it ain't pulling nothing on the amp. Ooh, because the amp ain't on. Alright, I'm turning the amp on. Gotta take this 50 watt slug out. Put the 500 watt slug back in it. That's a brand new one on it, by the way. Let's see if I can keep that there. Let's see it. Alright. So, I think the amp's back on. Oh, hello, hello. I ain't got no reflectometer to read reflect. Let's see. That amp's probably got some reflect in it anyways. This is just to show that the amp will work in a bucket of water. Audio 11111111111. Alright, I'm gonna turn it off. Old. I'm gonna turn it on. Hello. Turn it off. Hello. It's back on. Hello. Oh. It's drawing about 1850 on the amps. You can see that. Oh, hello. About 1850 on the amps. Uranus running any cooler. It's still bubbling a little bit, making a little bit of brown gas in there. Brown gas is a byproduct of water being shit, whatever you call it, like you're making hydrogen gas, which it ain't making enough to do nothing. Brown gas is a byproduct of hydrogen gas, and I'm sure that's making a little bit, but not enough to hurt nothing. Audio, hello, hello, hello. Let's take it out of the water. I have people tell me all the time, you can't wash an amplifier. You can't wash it, you can't wash it. Well, that's sitting in a whole bucket of damn water. Audio, audio, the same amperage. Audio, the same wattage. It ain't doing a lot, it's just a rinky-dink amp. Throw it back over the bucket of water. Audio, audio. That amp wasn't built to have no reflect or nothing like that. We just threw it together just to do this to it. But it will work in water. Audio. That's got a sealed relay, so we got to worry about none of that. Everything's fine. Hello. Hello. Ain't gonna do a lot with this little radio hitting anyway. But there you go. Just to see if it will run in water, and it will. I've heard stories about this for years and years and years and years and years. I went to a ham fest back in the 90s. Met Joe Roberts there. The very first key down person that I knew of, but he was there and had the Suburban now, the gold and let's see, it was gold and brown, I guess. Or light brown and gold. I don't know. It was a Dave May truck. I'm guessing it was his truck. But anyways, he was there with a rod of God on top of it, and every CBer and a few hammer guys and everything was over there looking at it. I ain't too good a piece of coax. Throw that in the way. Look at that shit. That's what we was just using on it. Going to the dummy load. Take it end off it and throw it away. But yeah, it was just running on that little 300 watt dry dummy load. But you can make that wet. You can drop that over. You can take a can and you can take this right here and that'll make well over, that'll make 1500 watt wet dummy load. You can take that and put a paint can around it, trim this back a little bit, put 2 screws through it, put it in a paint can, put you some, which would be high to get, would be transform oil, but I wouldn't use that. I'd use mineral oil. You get a whole thing of mineral oil for like $27. I got a whole gallon over there. But yeah, make you a good dry dummy load with that. That was that power supply, and I was cleaning the clear coat off this thing. It seemed like that one to go. But other than that, we fine. The amp will still work in the water, out of the water. Just to show y'all that. I thought it'd be pretty funny. But there you go. I don't know what made me think of that the other day. I thought of it and I said, shit, might as well do a video on it. So, it's been a while back. I thought about it. The ant's been sitting over here and I seen it and I said, might as well go on do it. But the story I'd heard from Joe was that Dave done this back in the day. I might have overheard it. Might not, should have heard it. I don't know. But like I said, we was at the Ham Fest in the 90s. I don't know what year in the 90s. I want to find I bought me a little amplifier. It was had two 572Bs in it. I thought I was big shit then. It had a it was a Yaesu FT10 let's see, FT or FL, I don't know, it had two 572Bs in it. And I thought I was big shit. That equaled up to about one 500Z tube though, and it did talk good. Good amp. I sold it working. Then after that I got me a 3CX 800. And then I got an amp with two of them in it. The first one was a clipper. The other one was a handmade deal. I'm thinking Screwdriver may have built it. I don't know for sure. But I didn't know the people then that I know now. And now I can't really talk because I can't really hear. Can't hear them. What good is it to talk to them? But there it goes. Got all this stuff back up. Everybody still works. And yes, myth busted. A amplifier will run in or out of water. Transistor type. Now I'd say you probably might have a little trouble if you got an open relay. You might have a little trouble. I'd say you'd have some trouble. But this is a closed relay, not an open. So that would be a factor on it. I knew it wasn't going to be too much of a factor. Either run, it was going to run in it, but because of the contaminants in the oil, in the water, that being it's just straight tap water, if I know what I'd done with distilled water, it'd have been alright. But in distilled water, it wouldn't have pulled any current from just a DC power supply, which that didn't hurt that. It was a little bit more than like 5 or 6 LED lights. Is all it was pulling. It was about like that. But yeah, it runs. Y'all want to buy that amp? Cost you $82,000. Alright, later.